Hi, this is Liz and welcome to my podcast, Spiritually Speaking with Liz. Don't forget to subscribe to your podcast app or like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Well, as we come to the end of season 1, 33 episodes went on a bit long, but I got carried away, to be honest, and I didn't want to stop. We've had some fabulous talks and I hope you've enjoyed them as much as I have. I've learned lots of things. I love hearing about people's stories, and that's why I like getting guests on, and as well as hearing about their specialist topic, I love to hear about how they got into it, what it was about them that called to them, what brought their topic to life to them. And I just love how these things come to us without always knowing, like Jules was telling us, with the shamanism, the synchronicities that she had with it, even down to the woman of the book that she read on her first trip to Peru on the way back, being at the airport at the same time as her. We have stories like Anne Ellis, where the angels came to her while she was cooking her spag bowl. We have other stories like Katie Hallowell, the psychic medium, how spirit came to her as a child and she thought it was normal, but nobody else could see spirit around her, and that happens to so many people. We talked to Alana about EFT and matrix re-imprinting and how EFT can work for you. It's such a simple thing to use, and it is something that I use quite regularly if I'm worried about anything or if I'm going into a situation that's making me feel tense, or any physical ailments. I find that tapping really helps. Speaking about physical ailments, I had the most amazing clarification really for me. And I shouldn't need it, but I think we all do from time to time, don't we? And this was with Sue Kerr. So Sue came on and she talked to us about Reiki and then more recently hypnotherapy. And a couple of weeks ago, I had a problem with my shoulder, and it ended up where my shoulder completely froze, literally froze. I couldn't move it. So it was quite difficult. I couldn't go to the shop. Kev was having to go to the shop for me because I couldn't drive. I literally couldn't lift anything. I couldn't even wash my face because I couldn't lift my hand up to my face. And I was chatting to Sue, and she said, let me send you some distant Reiki. So I've been used to people sending me healing and Reiki before, and likewise as I have for people. But she wanted me to sit down at the same time as her, which I haven't done for a while with anybody. So on a Sunday morning, we sat down and she said to me, I'll message you when I've done. You just go into a state of meditation and let's see what happens. So I sat quiet and I had the most amazing, vivid journey of us together, of a past life together, and it was very detailed, very complex, and a lot going on. And about half an hour or so later, when she'd finished, she just sent me a message to say finished. So we had a little chat, and what I'd seen and what she saw corresponded amazingly. I had a little bit of movement in my arm, and I felt lighter. I felt a lot lighter. And I managed to get in the shower. I managed to wash my hair. And by the time I got to lunch, because we were going out with friends for lunch, and I was a little bit worried, I'm not going to lie, that we were going out to Sunday lunch to somebody's home, a friend's home, but there were people there that I didn't know well. And I thought, how's this going to look, that Kev's going to be cutting my food up for me, because I couldn't eat with a knife and fork. I could only eat with my right hand. I couldn't move my left. And by the time we got to that meal, I managed to eat with my knife and fork. It was incredible. So never doubt the power of Reiki, of healing, and of distance healing. And it was just a wonderful reminder for me. I know we shouldn't need it, and that sounds silly saying that, but I think it felt miraculous. It really felt like I'd had a miracle from the day before, laughing and joking with a friend because I was literally stuck with my arm by my side, to going and being able to wash my hair and go out and eat normally with people and move my arm. Incredible. We spoke to the gorgeous Sarah about the importance of dance, the importance of moving our bodies. And we had a lovely session. We had two lovely sessions, actually, didn't we, with Becky. She talked about, Becky of Wild Ways, she talked about cacao and told us how to use it properly. And I have to say, after using it how she told me, with the water, with no sweetener, it took it to a whole new level. It really did. And since then, I think I'd started using it maybe in the July, but since our podcast, I think with her was the September, I've used it every day, without fail, every day. And I've really found that it's enhanced my journey. It's enhanced my meditation as a heart opener. And it just seems to help me connect. I've brought it into my morning ritual. We talked about morning rituals, didn't we? And I've brought it into my ritual, and it's just wonderful. I'm really enjoying it. We talked about signs and synchronicities, and I've had some lovely messages from you about things that you've seen, things that have happened, numbers that you've seen, times that you're seeing repetitively. I love getting your messages. Don't forget that you can message me on Instagram or Facebook. You can either direct message me, or you can do it on a post, or you can send me an email at spirituallyspeaking222@gmail.com. I love hearing your stories. And if there's anything you'd like me to talk about on the podcast, then please feel free to give me a shout. I'm always open to ideas. And we've got some great people coming up for season 2. We're having a little break until spring, but I've got some really fabulous people lined up for you. Shall I give you a hint? No, I might drop some on the Facebook page and the Instagram page, give you some little hints about what's coming up. But I've really got some exciting people coming up, as well as who we've already spoken to. So what have you learned? What's your takeaway, would you say, from this season? What stood out to you? So what stood out to me? Oh God, there's been so many. So the cacao, like I've said, with Becky really stood out. I've had some really heartfelt connections with people, and I hope you felt that, about people being really honest about their journeys and how they started them. Like Katie, about how she started seeing spirit and her family didn't understand. We've had Richard, the animal communicator, and he had a really difficult traumatic start into his journey and some heartbreaking experiences, but wow, has that guy got a gift. And I hope you felt his presence in that podcast and on that YouTube, because he really is such an amazing person, an amazing soul. We had the wonderful chat with Amy and her enthusiasm for essential oils like mine. And what a wonderful part of your journey they can be. They're just so simple, something taken for granted. But smell, for me, is massively important, as it is for her. And we had a wonderful chat about that. We had a wonderful talk about pagan rituals and what they are, and the sabbats and how we can use those, and how a lot of us are using those in our lives and didn't really know where they came from. We've talked about menopause, perimenopause, and the difficulty that I personally have had, and like Jilly has had, and the importance of talking about it, knowing about it, and bringing your friends in about it too, and having that support. And Jilly is starting, I'll share it, Jilly is starting a get-together which will be in the Ripon area, our local area, but she's also started a Facebook page where you can contact and talk about, ask any questions. So I'll pop that in the show notes if you felt that connection with her. She's a really wonderful person and so open and caring. She helped me massively, she really did. So I hope that she can help you too. Well, as I leave you at the end of season 1, I'd like to give first of all, my sincere gratitude for the wonderful guests I've had on, and for them sharing their stories about how they got to where they are now, which I hope you've found as inspirational as I have. And I'd also really like to thank you, the listener, you, the viewer, because without you, this wouldn't be possible. And I just enjoy sharing with you this wonderful gift that we have, this wonderful opportunity that we have just to stop, to listen to other people and their stories, and to listen to yourself and get that inspiration from you, because inspiration is always around you in day-to-day life. We just have to have our eyes open. We just have to have our hearts open to see, hear, and feel it. On that note, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for joining me. Please like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, on your podcast app. Please subscribe and follow and click the little notifications. Then you'll hear when I'm back. And also follow me on my Instagram page, spiritually_speaking_222. Thank you for joining me, and I can't wait to be back in the spring with more amazing guests. Thank you so much. Much love. Bye.